Hello. Should be back.
Every bone in my body tells me that the answers rest on the shoulders.
Turn the Elgato down a little bit because it's very, very loud.
To his destiny, uninterested for truth and rejecting God. Would he want to live old same as the same way? A master of ego, one of the wisest men on the planet. Begins not careful research or sensible thinking. Nay, as with many of fate's begins but a small act of disobedience.
Is everyone here?
Old green stuff told us to come here.
This seems... I don't know if it's like exceptionally dark or it's supposed to be dark. I can't really remember. So I bought a little toy. So it's oh.
Continue your search for artifacts and eco. If the locals possess precursor items, you know what to do.
Deal harshly with anybody who strays from the village. We will attack it in due time.
What are we doing here anyway, Jack? This place gives me the creeps. Huh? Oh, stupid precursor junk. Eek! What is that dark ooze? It sure don't look friendly.
Hopefully it's a little bit better now. My connection was being really erratic, so I'm hoping it should be a little bit better, a little bit more stable now. I'm still trying to decide whether the colour's a bit weird. I might have to have a little play around with it. Didn't mean to do that. I'm still trying to figure out why you guys can hear this, but I can't.
Okay. I'm fine.
Hello, Oi, I can see you. It should be a bit better now. It must have cut out. I said that I was just gonna drop the stream because it was being very erratic, and then just so I could restart it and hope that it's a little bit better. So I'm hoping it might be a little bit better now, and the video stream might be a little bit more smooth than it was before.
Because in my professional
Yes.
opinion, the change is an improvement. And besides, I couldn't help you if I wanted to. What? There's only one.
Now I'm just trying to figure out why you guys can hear the sound from the PlayStation, but I cannot.
But he lives far to the north. Far to the north. Nobody has spoken to him in ages. I would teleport you there, but I can't do that either. None of the three sages that maintain the other teleporter gates have seen fit to turn their ends on for quite a while. The only other through the fire canyon, but its volcanic soil is hot enough to melt precursor metal.
Good,
You
good.
can't just walk through
As long
it.
as it sounds alright. This I don't know if you heard what I said before, but this is the original run on an actual PS2. Thought I'd see if it worked. I didn't want to like emulate it if I didn't have to.
Yes, Kira, that might work. But where are a boy and a half
Warbeck, are
going
you
to get
there?
20 power cells?
From the villagers. Most of them have a power cell or two stashed away somewhere. And even if they aren't willing to just give them away, greasing their palms with a few precursor orbs should do the trick. And I bet there are even more of them out in the wilds just waiting for some brave adventurer to find.
Well, we've got the brave.
I really enjoyed this
adventurer
game
at
when I was a
least.
kid. This was,
Brave adventurer.
I think I probably put more time into this than stuff like, well, I definitely put more time into this than stuff like Spyro and Crash.
We won't find any more of
Hello,
that
Wolbeck.
dark eco stuff, will we? Cause I'd hate to fall in again and turn into you.
Get in there before
I know
tell you
what's
what to do
happening in this
first.
cutscene, but again, cannot hear it for the life of me. Should probably actually go on Twitch and change my category, because otherwise people don't like that you're on the wrong one. There we go. In there. Right.
This device is a communicator. With it, my father and I can give you advice at any time during your quest.
It's very scanliney. I'm gonna have to have a little play with this. Let's say I just got the I got the converter a couple of hours ago, so I thought I'd just see how it works, but I'm gonna have to have a little play around with it, see if I can get the image to be a little bit clearer. Did they do a remaster of this? Or I feel like they did. I feel like at least one came out for PS4. I wasn't sure if it was just like a collection of them, and then, or if they actually remastered them. Yes. Okay. Maybe worth picking up actually. I've seen the a digital version of the first one for like £3. So it might make it a bit easier. Ah, right, okay. I wasn't sure if they had done like a re-release of the original, and then give it a trophy support. That's good then. I'll have to pick that up. Seems very strange not having any noise behind me. Right, I guess I best get on with my list for a bit then, shouldn't I? Because good God, but I guess it's a good learning experience with that Geoguesser game. That I can't do other stuff while doing that. That is fairly intense. Takes a lot of thought. I need a few brain dead games to be able to do other content at the same time.
This is a precursor door. It can only be opened by approaching the door while channeling blue eco through your body.
Yeah, well, the good thing is that Twitch has decided to be happy with the connection now. It now says excellent rather than unstable / dead. So that's a good thing. But I'm still not entirely sure about the way it looks. I don't know if this is the way that it's supposed to look on the by default, or if it's got weird scanline issues because of the converter. Yes, I believe yesterday I was talking about Graw for a bit. I think I talked to you about that, Oi, but I believe after you went, I was talking about. Maybe I didn't get to it actually. So I was going to talk a bit about Modern Warfare 2, because that was one of the other shooters that I spent an inordinate amount of time playing. Yes, I remember mentioning Modern Warfare 2, but I don't think I went into too much detail with it. So the I believe I said that I had played it quite a bit. I believe by the end of it, by the time I switched over to Black Ops, I had played about 40 days worth. That was it was really good. Yeah, me and well, Warbeck and I played that game solidly. Really, that and World of Warcraft were like our two main games for a good year. Mix in a little bit of Assassin's Creed and we were good to go. So I'm guessing we got going this way. So yeah, the I mean, Modern Warfare 2 was great. I think the good thing about those two, Modern Warfare 2, is the single player campaign was actually really engaging. I really enjoyed the single player. It actually had quite a lot of controversy with it, didn't it? Because it had that I can't remember the name of it, but the airport scene where you do the massacre was pretty heavy. And never really, I don't know if it was just because, you know, edgelord teenager at the time, I didn't really find it that horrendous. But at least we've got that sorted then. I really enjoyed the single player, and like it was how you got up to near the end, and then you got poleaxed by the commander, the general, and like the last scene where you like pick up the knife and throw it. No Russian, yeah, that's it. Throw it, like sling bladed into him. That was glorious. And obviously the multiplayer, Jesus, the amount of fun that I had in that multiplayer is not right. Just that running around with the perks that made your footsteps silent, and having the perk that give you unlimited sprint, and then with the knife range lunge with an and that's all you did, just run around the map with that, just ending people in a circle. Ooh. Need to go there. Is this can I change the... No, okay. I'm not bothered about that. Graphical, these are... Oh. No, I don't need to worry about this. I was wondering if I could change the... analog sticks, because the right analog stick's like reversed, and it's a little bit disconcerting. Anyway, we'll get used to it. Don't worry about it.
Hey, you found one of my scout flies. I sent
Yes.
to look for power cells, but the lurkers must have captured them all.
Fair. We went. If I remember, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong, Warbeck. But I think if I remember correctly, we went to. We moved over to Battlefield 3 after Modern Warfare 3 came out, because we didn't like Modern Warfare 3. So we just played Battlefield 3 instead. Because we played Modern Warfare 2 for a fair bit, and then we played Black Ops fairly heavily, and then Modern Warfare 3 came out. We didn't really like it. It was a bit meh. So we went over and started playing Battlefield 3 instead. Another great game. I preferred playing. Well, I preferred the maps in Battlefield 3 just because of how like gigantic they were. I liked playing a sniper on those maps as well. But I think what we used to do a lot of was we used to get the helicopter, and Warbeck would pilot and I would be the bomber. That worked really well. Just be like death and destruction from above. It's glorious. I remember being absolutely awful with the fighter jet in that game though. Like absolutely awful. It was painful to watch. Is this Does this look fairly dark to you guys? Oh, I've just died.
Jack, can I have your insect
I'm
collection?
just trying to decide if the pit, like the sort of saturation of it's a bit wonky or not. I think I can mess around with that, you know. I think I can sort that out. Right, let's have a look. Right. So yeah, I'd be putting Battlefield 3 and Modern Warfare 2 on the list. Warbeck. I think the other one, at least from that sort of generation, that I'd probably put in would be there's a few. Eternal Sonata, which was a very, very good RPG. Very, very good. It had a very, yeah. I was thinking that it just looks a bit iffy. I'll have a look, see if I can mess around with it. But yeah, while I'm doing that, I'll just talk about Eternal Sonata. So Eternal Sonata had like a very, very strange concept. So the whole world was like a figment of this composer's imagination, and all of the, hence why it's called Eternal Sonata. But because I think he's in a coma, actually, if I remember correctly, he's in a coma, and he's like in this world in his head, and that all of the weapons that people have are like musical instruments inspired, and then all the attacks are like the same as well. Well, it's yeah. I'm trying to have it sorted out. Hopefully it can get a bit better. If I can't get it too fit, if it stays a bit iffy, I might just play something else and try and sort it out off stream tomorrow. And get something done, then not stream and sort it out. It's not that much of a big deal, really. Right, okay, let's see what we can do. Picture. Ooh. Can you actually see this? Yeah, okay. That seems probably a bit too much.
Great! You found all of the power cells on the island. Come back to the warp gate so I can bring you back to the lab. Hurry up!
Right. Well, at least you can see what I'm doing to a certain extent. Oh, definitely don't want to be dealing with that. That was bad times right there. That seems a little bit better. Still not. It's not great, really, is it?
Great! You found all of the power cells on the island. Come back to the warp gate so I can bring you back to the lab. Hurry up!
Definitely going to need a little bit of work, but it's not horrendous. I think I might just buy this game on. If I want to play this, I'll just buy this game on. A little bit better. I think it's because the reason why it's dark is because it's getting dark in the game. So that was one of the really good things about this game, is I think I mentioned this last time. It has a day and night cycle on, which is fairly was fairly rare to at that time. I think I remember basically this game and
Good training, boys, but that's nothing compared to
Pokemon
the
Silver
challenges
is probably
that
the other
lie
one
ahead.
that had it. But yes, the Eternal Sonata was a really good game. It really beautiful world, had some really cool dungeons in it. The progression system was really cool. The skills looked awesome. The like monster variety was really nice. The
Why don't you make yourself
bit of
useful?
flickering in that. Never
My
mind.
dark green
Yeah,
eco-collectors
it
are
just
on
worked really well.
Head out to the far side of the
And
beach
it's
and
probably
pick
one of
them
my
up.
favorite RPGs on the
Follow
360.
them.
But one of my other
Right there.
favorite
No.
RPGs was
Get out
uh,
of here.
Fallout 3. Yes, Fallout 3. I think I probably put about 100 hours in that game. I just really like the world. I like that. I like post-apocalyptic worlds. I don't like ones that sort of marry it too much with like full-on horror stuff. But like the dang stuff with like mutated people, and I think that was great. And the fact that it was like set in that sort of like Maryland / Washington area made it work really well. And the music in that game as well was awesome. Like that sort of like really sort of retro 20s music worked really good in that. Well, the 20s and 30s music worked really well in that world.
Hello.
Right, where are we going?
Sage.
Can't really go anywhere here, can we? I've came here for no reason. I guess I could talk to him. I did talk to him, didn't I?
Brave adventurers you two are.
Yeah, look, I'm gonna definitely have to have a little play with it, see what I can do with it, or
They're on the far side of the beach, boys.
at least you can see something now, right?
Get moving.
Right, I'll just get my other stream, yeah. Does that look better, Warbeck? That a little bit easier to deal with. The problem is like trying to remember where I actually go now. I'm very good at remembering details of where I'm supposed to be going. Oh. Forgot you could actually swim in this game. I got really worried there.
Did you
Oh,
see the
yeah.
size of the bite that lurker shark took out of the fisherman's boat? We best stay way clear of them. I don't think we can tackle
So yeah,
that
Fallout 3 was immense. I really enjoyed the story as well. The story was really, really good. It made me want to play Fallout 4 so much, and then I end up my experience with Fallout 4 is during that first little bit in the town where you have the first fight with the big fang thing. And I basically then spent the rest of my time in that game, which wasn't, I mean, it wasn't a low amount of time. It was a fairly good wedge of time just walking around and exploring. So I can't say that whether the story for 4 is better or not, because I honestly didn't do any of it. I just wandered around fighting stuff, trying to find the suits. I had a lot of fun. I didn't do any of the like that town crafting stuff where you could like build your own village in it. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Right, come back. There, see if we can make it. I guess it'd be really very much remiss if I didn't mention Assassin's Creed in that time as well. Oh, good God. Yes, I do, and I will be getting to that. Christ. I was trying to do a double jump there and just completely failed. yes, so I guess it would be remiss in not putting down a fair few of the Assassin's Creed games. You know what, that is not why is it not double jumping? Right, okay, that's just me being Dobby, because it works fine. I have heard that a lot from people for in regards to Fallout 4 OE. It's not an uncommon feeling about that game. I don't obviously like if it comes to the story and stuff. I wouldn't know why. I mean, I can get why with the gameplay, because I mean, I'm probably going to say something a little bit controversial here, but I don't think Bethesda Game Studios make very good games in terms of polish. It's probably not a controversial statement, really, now I think about it. I think they're really bad when it comes to having like good polish in their games. I guess the difference with me is that whereas people sort of think that they get by it with their storytelling and like maybe other little quirks and stuff, I don't think they do. I think they get by on luck most of the time, to be honest. Yeah, I think they got by a lot of the time with goodwill, because they did good jobs with Fallout 3 and Skyrim. I think everything else they've put out since has been a bit of a disaster, to be honest. I think Fallout 76 has probably been their sort of wake up call that they need to sort themselves out, and I hope they do. But yeah, I enjoy their games, but I don't love them. I guess it's probably the probably where I sit. Yes. Okay. So, Assassin's Creed. Sorry, by the way, that there does seem to be a fairly big delay that I really can't do anything about. It's not really in my control. I can't go that way just yet. Yeah, I can't really do anything about the delay. But yes. In terms of Assassin's Creed, right now, where do we start? So I suppose the first caveat I should say is the first. What do I want to say? All right, okay, yeah. So what I have to say, the ones that I haven't played just yet. I do want to play them, but I haven't got round to them yet. So the ones that I have not played are Unity, Syndicate, Odyssey, and then Valhalla. So I've played the original, 2, Revelations, Brotherhood, 3, Black Flag, and Origins. Right, so I suppose the best way would be to start at the start. I think I've played some of the sort of secondary titles as well. So the first one I thought did a really good job with framing the story that they wanted to tell. The whole intrigue of the modern day story when it comes to Assassin's Creed was the big selling point for me, and I do agree with you, Oi, that when they ditched Desmond in 3, like after 3, it put me off. It did put me off to a certain extent, because that was the main draw for me, was that sort of incorporation of the old with the modern story, and how they link together, and how whatever happened in the past in the Animus directly correlated to what they were doing in the present day to try and find the artifacts and stuff like that. And I'm really glad that they seem. I've just said that I've never played Odyssey or I haven't played Odyssey or Valhalla yet, but they seem to be going down that route with the modern day story in Origins, where Desmond's dad shows up at the end, and I'm really like that's got me back into wanting to play them again. The 4, I enjoyed it's Edward. Is it Edward? Do I remember that correctly? Edward Conway. I really enjoyed that character and the progression he had, and I enjoyed like the story that he was sort of involved in, relating to like his son essentially becoming a Templar, and then obviously his grandson being Connor. And I enjoyed the intrigue with that, although I didn't like Connor as a protagonist. I found him very annoying. Right, where are we going here? What do I need to do? So yeah, the modern day story was really the big draw to me. So the first one was really good with that. Like the ending of that first game, where you were obviously going in and out, and then when you were coming out the Animus, you could go and have a look at the emails and read them, and you got a little bit more exposition. And then as you were going through it, they were talking about the like bleed effect and what that could do. And then by the end of that first game, after you've got the Apple of Eden, as Altair, you then came out of the Animus for the final time, and you were able to use the Eagle sight as Desmond, and then you saw the writing from, was it subject 16 or subject 17? The one before you, essentially. I think it was 16, wasn't it? Because Desmond 17, and you could see like the scrolling on the wall, and then obviously it went way into it on the second one, where you were getting what was her name? Was it Lucy Stillman? I think that was her name. Where she was getting you out, because obviously, and then obviously you found out that she was a assassin. So you got out, and then you met the other two characters, and it was so good. That escape at the start of the second game, and then getting into the story of Ezio, and like having like where it was set with Machiavelli and like in Florence, and then Leonardo da Vinci being just there as well, like before he was full on popular, you know what I mean, like before he got sort of famous for doing what he did, like helping him in his like studio in Florence. I thought that was awesome. And then obviously you had all of the intrigue with his brothers and his dad getting executed, and then you having to move to that village, and then just so good, just expanding out to Venice, and meeting Le Volpe and doing all that, and like it gave that game, Assassin's Creed 2, gave me such an appreciation for like the skill of those 3D artists, because he did such a good job at recreating the cities of Florence and Venice and a little bit of Rome at the end of 2. It was just, he did such a good job. Like, it made me want to become a 3D artist, which I've had a go of it. I'm not great. I can struggle through it, but 2D art's definitely my thing. Right, where are we going? You've noticed, by the way, that this is probably the best type of game to talk about this, because I can literally do nothing and it doesn't matter. I'm just collecting eggs and jumping around, and I can talk freely. I don't have to like worry about dodging or making sure that I'm not going to die at any moment. Like I was doing a Fallen Order. I really liked playing Fallen Order, and I am going back to it this week. Don't worry, but I've just after after last night. And, oh Jesus, that's a snake. That is a snake. Which I didn't really fail last night, to be honest, but I'm assuming that's some sort of piranha, so I don't want to be on there. But I think a game like that where you need to actually pay attention and stuff isn't necessarily a very good stream game, because I have too much I have to focus on while streaming to have my full unabated attention on the game. It becomes a struggle. And naughty dogs and their stupid bridges. But yes, what were we up to? Assassin's Creed 2. So it's Assassin's Creed 2 is probably my favorite. Yeah. It switches. I get little inklings of like certain things that happen in the story, and every now and then I appreciate one's more than the other, and it just depends on the day of the week, to be honest. So at the minute, 2 is my favorite, but I think it probably goes right. Well, how do we do this? 2, then Black Flag, then Brotherhood, then Revelations. Then Origins, then the original, then 3. That's probably the way that they go. I loved the story of the original, but the gameplay, what they did with moving from the original to 2 was insane. With the combat, they did such a good job moving from 1 to 2 that yeah, 1 just, if you go back and play 1 now, it feels awful. I would not wish that on anyone playing 1 now. Also, the achievements were awful. The amount I never after playing that game, I never wanted to see a flag again. It was dismal. And I mean, I'm not gonna get on my I'm not gonna say that feathers were any better, but they probably were. They probably were just a little bit better. So yeah, I think 2 is my favorite. I really enjoyed the stuff that they tried to do in Brotherhood, and I will say Brotherhood probably had the best multiplayer. It was, at the very least, it was the multiplayer that I played the most. They did really well with them. I don't know if you remember playing the multiplayer Warbeck, where we used to play with Steven. But it was a lot of fun doing that multiplayer. It was insane. It was so hectic, and so sometimes it was just unadulteratedly unfair. And it made no bones about it, really, which I sort of appreciate to a certain extent. It didn't care that you cared so much about how unfair it was. So yeah, I think that's probably my rank of those games, and to be honest, Warbeck, you can probably put every single one of them except from 3 on the list. I think I'd be quite happy to do that. Obviously, when it comes to the top 10, I'm probably going to get rid of all but 1, probably. But I think it makes sense for the amount of time that I've played those games that they're on the list. I was talking to TC about this. I've done it again. Actually, that my long list, rather than showing how many games that I've actually played, which is not a lot, which is precisely what I was about to say, is it probably underlines how little games I've actually played. That I have complete black holes in my in my knowledge of certain franchises. Like I've played Bioshock, but I've never finished one, and I would never feel like I've played enough of one to say that I am like that it's one of my favorite games. I'd have to play one through all the way. So I'm just trying to have a think now, because I think probably what would be the best thing to do now, Warbeck, quickly, is to go through PC games. So if it isn't already on there, Command and Conquer Generals needs to be on there. Age of Mythology 2. But it's probably a good time now to go through MMOs, because I have played a lot of MMOs, and the let's see if I can get by the snakes. I remember that. I have played far too many MMOs, more than really necessary, but let's just start with that was so bad. Right. Start with the first MMO that I played properly, which is World of Warcraft. Now, I sort of have a love-hate relationship with Warcraft. Basically, it's not hate, but a love/dislike of it. As in, I used to love it, and now I completely dislike it now. Oh god. I thought I got past that. Oh yeah, I've heard some really good things about the Bioshock games, but I haven't got round to it. I own all three of them on PC, and I could probably very easily get a hold of it on PS4 to play. But it's just one of them games that I haven't put the time into. There's so many of them, though. I mean, I guess I've only got a limited amount of time. I can't play everything, especially now. I really should have took more. I should have utilized my time more when I was younger to play all these games before I got kids, rather than just playing MMOs. But yes, I played an inordinate amount of World of Warcraft. Far too much. Far too much World of Warcraft. I think I don't know about alts, but I played a fair few other characters at the same time. But I think the last time I logged in, my main character, which was originally a Norm Rogue, but my account got hacked, and someone changed it into a human for me for some reason. I had I think I had around about 400 days played on him, which is, how many hours is that? 300 times 24 is 70, 7200. Yeah, it's too much time. 11,000 hours maybe. Yeah, I think that's probably similar to most people's time in World of Warcraft. Or like TBC was great, Wrath of the Lich King was great, Kata was alright, Pandaria was alright, but I basically quit in Mr. Pandaria. Completely missed Warlords of Draenor, and apparently I made a good choice there because it was awful. And then I played a bit. I played for about a year in Legion, and for about 4 months of BFA combined, and I haven't been back since. And I won't be going back because Shadowlands looks awful. It just looks absolutely horrendous. So yeah, I mean, it was just the main thing for WoW for me. I mean, it's a good game. You can't deny Blizzard's ability to polish a game. You really can't. They do such a good job at that. That everyone takes the piss out of their PvP, but they've probably got the best PvP system in MMOs at the minute, which is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, really, just for in terms of the state of the genre. I think there should probably be a good PvP MMO. You know what, right? The thing with WoW is that it's one of them games that I just fancy playing for like a day or two, and then I just want to put it down and not play it for like 6 months. I just need to get my my little fix of it for a day or two, and then not play it again. Yeah, I think well, I mean, looking at the numbers, it's probably a good 3/4 of the population of WoW from 10 years ago that have the exact same experience with the game now. Just to play it every now and then, decide that they don't want to play it anymore, and then go play other games. But I spent so much time in that game and met so many different people that I still talk to now regularly. That I would be remiss to not put it on. And I think that was the main thing about WoW, is that was such a social game. That was how you sort of made the memories in the game, and when everyone started leaving, there was no reason to play. So yeah, definitely put WoW in there. I think the other MMO that I'll put in there as well is Star Wars: The Old Republic, which is not only a very good MMO, it's probably one of the better. yeah, I'm right in saying that. I think it's probably one of the better single player RPGs that you can play. If you play Star Wars: The Old Republic as a single player game, you will have an immense amount of fun. You won't regret it. There's a lot in there that it does very well, and the story of some of the classes in that game are just really, really good. I can't really fault it. The smuggler story was really good, and there's a fair few on the Sith side that were really good as well. I remember the Bounty Hunter being really good as well. So if you want a good single player RPG that you can download for free, I'd recommend playing SWTOR. Very good game. I think that's it for MMOs though. More back there. Not too many. Don't need to worry too much. I think I'll probably do another 2 games and then call it a night there, lads. So let's just have a think. I'm trying to do the grey area between 360 and PS4, because I've got a lot of games that you can put on from PS4, but in terms of before that, it's a bit of a muddy mess. Because I played a lot of MMOs during that time, or just didn't play games really at all, other than the odd one. I ended up doing other stuff. So I think probably one of my most favorite games from that period is probably Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which if anyone, for the longest time, if anyone asks me, actually still really probably possible today, but without really going through it properly and actually having a proper think about it, I couldn't say for sure. But Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is probably already in my top 3 of this top 10 list, because it's one of my most favorite games ever. I don't really want to spoil it, but I don't know how to talk about it without spoiling it. So Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons does this really interesting thing with the controller that it uses throughout the game for its mechanics, and it how's the best way to describe this? At a certain point, that control mechanism within the game is sort of broken, and because that gameplay mechanism is so interlaced into the story, it actually like affects you immensely. Like I was so shocked that it affected me so much when the story happened and the gameplay mechanism was sort of broken. That it was actually, because you relied on that control, that when it was gone you didn't really know how to play the game properly. And then like with it, like with the actual story, plot points, and like the atmosphere of the game and the music, and that, it was actually like a really emotional part of the game. And that's probably, without going into spoilers of it, that's probably the only thing I can actually say about that game. But it is one of the best puzzle games I've ever played, along with probably being one of the most emotionally charged games I've ever played as well. Right, we're gonna go up here. So yeah, that needs to be on the list. One of the other games that I played in that time that I really enjoyed is a game called TOP10, which is a point and click adventure game, which I'm very comfortable in saying that it's on the same level as Monkey Island for me and Day of the Tentacle when it comes to point and click games. They got the, like, it's a 10-year-old game now, but obviously it's a modern point and click game in terms of, you know, point and click games. And they got the sort of tongue-in-cheek aspect of a Monkey Island game spot on, with some really, really clever ways of using the point and click mechanics. And the story was hilarious. It was really good. I would actually play that on stream because I really enjoyed that game. It's long enough now that I probably can't remember any of the puzzles now either. Yeah, I was really surprised, to be honest, because that game, for some reason, it struck me on a emotional chord more than most other games do. So yeah, it was very much unexpected, which is probably why it affected me more, and why I rate it so highly, just because I really was not expecting it. And then in terms of how it sort of married the story and the gameplay together, and the loss of the mechanic that you go through, just worked really well for me. Yes, TOP10 was really, really good point and click game. I really enjoyed that. It's definitely on par with Day of the Tentacle for me. And Day of the Tentacle is definitely in my top 10. It's one of my most favorite games ever. It's the first platinum I got on PlayStation was Day of the Tentacle. On PS4 anyway. Yeah, PS4 because that was when I made my account, so I never played any PS3 game. We're getting there. What else? Right. We're getting in the sticks now because I'm just trying to remember. I don't think I'll go onto PS4 just yet. I'll leave that for tomorrow. And I think I'll call it a night now. Alright, so and it's been a very weird stream today. It wasn't a very conventional one. I did want to try some other stuff out, and we had a few issues, but at least I got to get through a lot of games, and that really was my goal. So that's good. We will go through some more tomorrow. I'll try and get the list. I'll get the list off you, Warbeck, and I'll try make that tier list up so we can at least have a good start of it, so I'm not doing it all on like Friday daytime for Friday night. But yeah, I enjoyed Geoguesser. I think it'd be pretty cool to do like a European one where it might be a bit more engrossing for people who are not from the UK and maybe have been other places in the EU, and you can try and sort of figure out where the hell they are, or just do something random like Asia or something like that, and just try and figure it around. It's very much a meme game that people like to play. So I thought I'd just try it out and see what it was like. And hopefully I can get this PlayStation 2 feed to work a little bit better. The most important thing, at least for me, because it's a little bit disconcerting, is getting the sound working a bit to a higher standard for me, so I can hear it. So I've just got silence. So yes, if I don't know if you heard yesterday, Oi, but I will be streaming every day this week. So I'll be streaming tomorrow and Friday night. Just because it's worked out that way, so I can do it, and then it also means I can get through these games a bit faster. I've got no idea what we can play tomorrow. I might go back to Fallen Order, or I might, given that this worked a bit better, I might just find another little casual game that we can play. Hopefully, I might even just play this if I can get the sound working and it looking a little bit better. Yes, thank you for being here. I am going to head out now. I'm going to put some music on. Ooh. And let that play as we head out. I will be back tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. BST, British Summer Time. So it is 4 Eastern Standard Time. Basically, it's the normal time. We'll be around about the normal time, playing a bit of music, and should be starting around about 10. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, sorry about it being a little bit unconventional, and the little drop in service in the middle. Yes. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Take me back to the days holding hands and laughing the nights away. Will things ever be the same? I was a man and I wanted back that way. Chasing our dreams for what it would seem. A family, 2 kids in a house by the sea. Those were the days, how fast they would change. Now I'm standing here wishing back to that way. All we got is hard to find. Without you, girl, I'm paralyzed. I want you back here, you and I won't give up, I can't deny that you'll come back. I'm giving you time, trying so hard to not say goodbye. She's gone and you've left your shadows behind. Girl, you are something else. Why can't we work this out? 'Cause you make me feel love is for real when I've got you by my side. And I can't forget the day that we met. I want you to realize what we've got is hard to find. Without you, girl, I'm paralyzed. I want you back here, you and I won't give up, I can't deny that you'll come back. I'm giving you time, trying so hard to not say goodbye. She's gone and you've left your shadows behind. Me back to the days, holding hands and laughing the nights away. Will things ever